Broadcasting live from the what is going on with Max's face? Ravaged bayous of Louisiana. It's your boy, Max. How's everybody doing tonight? It has been I'm sorry. I know. It's like, where you been? Yeah, we'll probably get to that. It we'll get to it. I'm sorry. Between the holiday and I just have had uh, a lot more health things going on and stuff like that. I'm sure if you can't see just how my face is falling off, it seems to look a little better on camera, but yeah, it's um, a little bit of that. So it we're working with that. It's I just kind of been going back, just doing a little more lurking than active participation in YouTube and everything. But I'm going to get back on a righteous schedule and get back to bringing you me. So it we're broadcasting tonight across 3 different channels. My YouTube, the Nakatosh Studios channel for those watching from there, and my personal Facebook. So I tonight is all about chat. It's all about Oh yeah, it's all about chat, Max. Well, that makes sense because you don't shut the hell up. So that's perfect. But no, tonight is about the people in chat, the people who join every week, bring conversation, and have questions, have comments, things like that. So tonight is about you, and nothing is off limits. Now, I also have my Instagram open. So if there is a question you have and you don't want to post it publicly, but would like for me to answer, I do have my uh, Instagram open. And and look, I am reminded that Rowdy Riles is only 150 people away from 4,000 viewers. And so you need to go over there if you like toys. If you like little Virginia gals, letting you know what's what, then you should definitely go over there and check her out. So, and she is also my mod. So you will notice the blue wrench and over in chat. So anyway, like I said, tonight is just about your questions, and whether it's about me, whether it's about my opinion on something, whether it's just I don't care what it is. Uh, you want to uh, you want to talk toys? You want to talk enlightenment? You want to talk politics? Just whatever you got. And speaking of some of those, we've got sneaky figures. High five to you too. No, Bat Dan 89. And you are party hopping. It's okay. We're not mad at you. Speaking of the rowdy, there is the Riles herself. And the first question of the night. No, I don't wear wigs. Yes, I would wear a wig as soon as I can afford one. It I don't know. when you got the silver fox thing going on, then um, it just kind of wearing a wig would probably keep all the Bettys off of me, and that what's up, Kaiju Kitty? What is up? Is it's all about you guys tonight. So, Kaiju Kitty, one of my favorite vinyl collectors and kaiju collectors. So, definitely someone I like seeing in chat. Your first Max Live? Oh, oh well, Dan. I wish I had something to play for you, but here's a pin. Leah Glacia. Those were, in fact, the droids I was looking for, weren't they? Always wondered that. What is up with the cool hat? Man, fezzes are just the best. I've got another one right up there. I got another one on my desk that oh, here we go. That my little friend Handles wears. So I've always got a fez, and it just it keeps the sun off the top of your head. Not that I go outside very often, but they're comfortable. They're easy to throw on, and a friend of mine from Turkey wore them one time when I was a lot younger, and the Max brain hadn't fully gotten all of its wrinkles. It was a lot smoother brain then. And he just he was somebody that was, it took me a long time to understand what he meant, but just that, you know, basically it doesn't matter where you go in the world, everything's the same. It's everybody's the same. Everybody's going through the same shit you're going through, all this crap. And he was important to me, and he always wore a fez, and I kind of, you know, just liked wearing them. And ball caps have never really been my thing. And the great thing about a fez is, even though it gets a little sweaty, if you need to, you can use it as a water carrier. So, and it's got a tassel. But that is what is up with the fez. My favorite GI Joe release this year. Figure or vehicle, because I would probably, if it's vehicle, I would say either the snake armor or the claw. The claw was, God, just was always fantastic, and they did a really good job with that release. The snake armor as well, both of them. I'd probably put them just right with that's probably right where I would keep it. It both of them were really good toys. And they were really well done and thought out. I got a few gripes about them, but not enough that they weren't my favorite. On the Joe side, the All Striker was good on the Joe side. Figure wise, I am gonna have to agree with True Star Screamer's video. If you're not following True Star Screamer for figure stuff, you definitely should. Me and him both have a conversation. The green shirt Joe Trooper. Uh, this is a good figure. Um, they still got, you got a knife on the hip, and then you got one up here on the webbing that doesn't come out. That and little things like that I hate. But overall, this is a fantastic release. That and wetsuit, but that's total bias talking right there. Total bias. Um, that I don't know. I think I'm gonna stick to closer towards the end of the year before I do like my favorites for the year. So um but those are my if I had to pick one, I would definitely the claw 100% of the time. So I guess that's your answer. But do you think Alan Moore was on crack or meth when he wrote Neonomicon? Um, that man doesn't need drugs. He's that way all by himself. Um, I got to share. I don't want to say that I met Alan Moore, but I got to share space with him briefly, and he's. I'm just going to put it this way: more people need to really read and understand Watchmen before. I don't believe that you should be allowed to have a toy tuber uh channel without reading or understanding Watchmen. That being said, Neonomicon, not one of my favorites. Um, Bro toys, what kind of toys? Any kind of toys. Um, I got I got toys going back to the 1860s. So it's I don't know what bro toys are. It I know girls that play with GI Joes, and I know boys that play with My Little Pony. So it it's a it's a wonderful world we live in, 2025. How did you find your style? My style found me. Everything about me is either necessity to grab a bag and disappear into the night, never to be seen again, or comfort or comfort convenience. I'll throw those two in the same loop. That is oh, Instagram question. It has been received. I will answer. Give me a little bit. That's a long one. Um, it you know what? If you think of me when you see this look, then it's working. Or it's not working and I need to change everything. Think about that. Hell yeah, Invasion USA. It's going well. That was your question. Hey, Cooter. Man, been throwing any 454s in any Dodge Chargers lately? I hope so. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you too, Cooter's Garage. Holy crap. The man, the myth, the legend. Nice to see you, Master Son. Yeah, I probably would, but I would choose better. Mm. Um, my parents are antique dealers. Uh, Mom still has an antique shop. My grandparents were antique dealers. Their grandparents on both sides, I believe, were antique dealers. Um, I spent I was born in 75, and in 1975, uh, you had to spend a week in the hospital if you gave birth. It's not like today where they just fucking, cut you, drop the baby. Yep. Okay, good. Everything get the hell out. It 75 they used to keep you for a week. SIDS was a lot bigger issue then. It's still an issue, but beside the point. Uh my mother checked me out of the hospital AMA against medical advice at 3 days old so she wouldn't miss an antique show at the Wichita Coliseum. And I spent about the first 3 years of my life sleeping under the booth of antique shows. Uh, I used to run around. I mean, I was all over that show. 700 something dealers. Every one of them knew my little shitty diaper ass. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I some of my earliest memory. The first time I ever seen a Star Wars Marvel comic, issue number one was uh, at an antique show, and the guy wouldn't sell it to me for $3. He wanted five and would not sell it to me for three. So all I had was three because I was supposed to go get my mom a soda. um, at yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's just in my blood. I have a lot more than just, it's not just uh I don't just collect toys. I've got antiques, I've got some first edition books. Uh it I it, you know, if it's if it's worth something, I probably collect it. I'm not a hoarder. You can still walk through my house. Um it I do hoard art supplies. There you go. That's probably I probably have way too many art supplies. My favorite Joe character and who is your favorite Cobra character? Um, hmm. Well, the first GI Joe I ever had was Hawk, and for a long time that's the only one I had. I had it and one of those little armored transport um, until it got lost in a tornado. Um, favorite, I mean, Cobra is Cobra Commander. So yeah, Duke Cobra Commander. I know that seems kind of generic, but those two characters are just if you had to start over doing a GI Joe line, you need a Cobra Commander and you need a Duke, or if you want to take it back to the original 14, and it is 14, not 13. Uh, it's Hawk and Cobra Commander. But yeah, so I'll stick with those. Other than that, it's pretty much you're really not going to do me wrong with any of them. I don't know if I have an answer for that question. Let's see. I believe Alan Moore is still kind of lives the hermit life. Um, I don't see too much, but it's funny. I have seen him, especially here in since kind of the release from COVID isolation. I have seen him doing a lot more interviews lately, or at least more interviews that he's done being released. So maybe he's getting a little chatty Cathy in his old age. Where? Yeah, and yeah, when they ran out of room, my room was filled with antiques, and my only mistake was thinking that they were mine. Uh, Mainly, it was just my parents ran out of room everywhere else, and uh, stuck that shit on my shelves. So it let's see. Oh my god, that got us caught up. Well, all right. I will get to. I was asked on Instagram why recently I deleted a bunch of people. And I kind of covered this a little bit. But mostly it's um some people were deleted out of anger. Some people were deleted for association. Um and that's the short story. Um I've been noticing for a long time a lot of trends with a lot of just I don't know the man sphere, whatever the hell that shit is. Um just just a lot of hate. Um and I'm fine with hating shit. Um but just I used to get like angry people would try to attack me, and the first thing they'd always do is they just go, "Now, fatty, fat," and I'm just like, "Oh my god," because I don't wake up in this body every day. Please do better. Um, I don't. You're not. Teetering the saw uh with that. But really what it came down to was um I got some hate mail after defending a friend. Uh when I made almost literally the same comment that she did, but nobody was attacking me the way they were attacking her. So basically, it was just they needed an excuse to attack her lifestyle. And that didn't sit well with me. I don't like bullies. Um, Never liked them. I have, that this Mohawk is, you know, uh, only slight heritage. Uh, the rest of it is I spent a lot of time as just kind of the New York, London, Montreal punk scene, and curb checking Nazis was just kind of things that we did. Uh, so if you see a toothless Nazi out there, you're welcome. Anyway, so when I stood up and said something, I got, instead of getting publicly attacked, I got hate mail and messages. So basically, I was just like, okay, where is this coming from? Traced it back to its source. And see, the great thing about Facebook and Instagram is they can be very useful tools. So when I go to this person's Facebook or Instagram and I see their mutual friends, I was just like, okay, I'm going to nuke it. Everybody who was a mutual friend of that, you're out of here. Some people filtered back in, and some people they haven't. And you know what? Some of these people I've never met except in chat. So, it uh and it's just and that's no, I don't want to say that. I'm not there ain't no saints in this on this earth. There's no angels. Um I don't want to make it sound as I'm better than anybody or anything like that. Um but when I just can't stand the stink. There's an episode of South Park where I think it was Stan or one of the characters, like everything was shit. Everything. Everything stunk of it. Everything just looked like it. Just every new song, and maybe I've just got to the point where I was just like, you know what? Just, I'm not having fun anymore. I'm watching your YouTube show and I can't see what you're saying because I'm too busy seeing the shit in your chat. So I'm going to leave. Obviously, it's, it's your show. You run it the way you want. You have who you want in your chat. That's America, baby. You have that freedom. But I learned, and sometimes I don't get this fast enough, when I'm the odd man out in the room. And I really started feeling like I'm the odd man out in the room. It's one reason why the other question that I'm going to answer now is kind of along the same lines. Why did I leave Figure Fight Club? Same way. All those people that I saw spewing the same hate and everything else like that were mostly the same people who were just coming over, and it's all in the same network. And it all smelled like shit. So that's okay because I'm here. I'm doing my thing. I'm going to go where I want to go and be around who I want to be around. And if somebody gets upset by that, am I the problem? And it wasn't just a YouTube thing. I did this with some real life shit too. So yeah. So it's that. I hope that Mr. Anonymous answers that question. So association, Jeff. Then you should add a question mark after questions. It's proper grammar. So it pretty much, if you were anywhere associated with some little talker idiot out of Florida or some little elite asshole out of Chicago, you just got the boot. And if you want back on the boat, then we can have that conversation. So it and it might have had something to do with you know a certain Chad. So you can, I'll say like this, and I'm not picking on you Jeff. So no, not guilty, just associated. And I told you I went nuclear reaction. I deleted everybody. I didn't look at what names I was deleting. I didn't pay any attention. I didn't give two shits at that point. I nuked everybody. The only reason I didn't get to Mr. I'm Mr. in the closet from New Mexico is because I got blocked before I could. So, there probably would have been more. And maybe there's some that I missed, and maybe there's some that, I'll still get to. But I'm not going to put up, and it has nothing to do with whether or not you're an ally or anything like that. It has a little bit to do with just some of the content I don't want to friggin' see anymore. That's kind of exactly what that is. I am that's kind of where I'm at on that. I'm just the way a lot of this, especially on YouTube, I've seen this work. And again, and this is going off of this is something else. You get some people who, they run their shows and they have their mods, and they're always like well, it's not me, it's not what I'm doing, it's the chat. And it's your show, it's you. The buck stops with me. Anything that's done in my chat, the buck stops with me. And if you bring some of that bullshit here, then you will be fast out the door. Kaiju Daddy, welcome, sir. It's nice to see you. And we're having a chat runs the show evening. You got questions? As for me, nothing is off limits. And again, this is even if you're not on YouTube, broadcasting across 3 channels, you can submit a question and it will be answered to the best of my ability. Despite my nickname as a tattooer was the Professor, Professor Max. And I've still got business cards, all of them. I still sign Professor Max on the shit I mail out. It's just old habit. But I got that. A lot of times you get the nickname Professor in tattooing. If you do tattoo history, preserve culture and historical things, or run a museum, things like that. Like Professor Dana Brunson from up north runs an incredible museum. He's an incredible historian and just a wonderful, outright wonderful human being. If you care about tattoo shit, um, so I got the nickname Professor because another tattooer said I was and I'm quoting here, I'm trying to watch my language more, a friggin' know-it-all. So that, yeah, there you go. All right, let me see. How are we doing? Oh, I see the viewers are going up. So all the hate watchers have spread the word that Max is talking that shit. So, hi, everybody. Welcome. Hate watchers are welcome. I don't care. If you've got a question for me, throw it in the comments. And listen, I don't usually care about things like this, but even if you're, no matter what venue you're watching on, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, my Nakatosh Studios page, or my personal Facebook page, hit that like button. I don't normally ask for that, but it's been a little while since I've been on, and the algorithm is mad at me, and I've got to keep people happy. So, hey, Tilal, I swear to God, I'm just gonna start calling you your real fucking name. Trying to watch my language. Hey, Talb, it's nice to see you. Oh, well, good. Then be welcome. Don't bring hate, won't be hate. Hey, Ronnie, what's up? Was that good enough? All right. Anyway, what do we got here? Oh, Haight Ashbury. Man, listen. No, Haight Ashbury ain't the place. People's Park. That was the place. And I believe that it was recently torn down. That is travesty. Because, man, I remember listen, everybody thinks, oh, yeah, you do that hippie thing, you go to San Francisco. That place is friggin' cold. Cold. You get that fog that rolls in, that shit's cold. And there is nothing that warms you up better than a piping hot bowl of soup from the People's Kitchen in People's Park. And that was, man, I had some good memories. Oh shit. Man, that is, I'm never going to tell anybody my number one, but that's not just what's your 5 favorite films. Let me give you my 5 favorite film categories, and then we can break it down into subcategories and then go. Yeah, I am a videophile. That I got more opinions than Michael French when it comes to movies. That's how much it is. But I'll give you some generic because you asked a question and I said there would be answers tonight. No matter the question, there will be answers. in no particular order. Um, and in no and not just by some of these are not films that I like, but I like because of their significance. So in place 5, Rukasoka Doji Legend of the Overfiend. In 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Not Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Star Wars, the original 77 release, not the new edition, the refurbished. That's 3. Um, Not any single movie, but anything by Terry Gilliam. Um, so I know you said 5, but that's it, just anything, Baron von Munchausen, and hmm, there is a little known George Lucas movie um called Time After Time. It was a paper stop motion film. There's 2 versions of it. There's the uh vulgar version, and then there was the original version. I highly recommend watching them both. They are fantastic. So, all right. So I hope that gives you other. Listen, I could literally go on. You want to start talking movies? That's like talking about food. That is the next 10 hours of my life. Um, let's see. We got any more questions? Let's see. Yep. See now. Oh, Impossible Pie. What's up, everyone? That is a question, even though it was not followed by a question mark. What is up is we're asking questions. Chat is asking questions, and I am providing answers. And it's good to see you, Impossible Pie. I am not a Shriner. I at one time I wanted to uh becoming a Mason was something that I really sought after. Um but around these parts in northern Louisiana, um I really just didn't like the company. Now the Shriners do some great work. They do a lot of stuff for kids. I donate to them constantly. And then they got these cute little cars that they drive. I've even got an antique Shriner's hat. This would this would be a Shriner if they had all this symbolism. But I don't this is kind of a when I wear this one, I wear it backwards. Doesn't fit as well. um Nope. I am not a Shriners. I support them. Again, the work they do for a lot of children's hospitals um, are fantastic. So, but I am not one. If approached again, I might consider it, but there is yeah, it's just some company that again, kind of like with everything else, I am just want to hang out with people I don't want to hang out with. And so I hope that answers your question. Am I going to DFW for 2026? I would like to, but due to my health, I don't get around without escort. Mainly my wife and kid. And I don't think after the sexual harassment problems that my wife had, that she will ever go back to DFW. Um, but I had a great time and got to meet some great people. Um, and I would like to go back, but I will see. But I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you, Cooter. Don't worry about grammar. Listen, if I told you some of the comic books that have passed through my hands that have just, gone to the four corners of the world, um, man, heritage auctions would probably be knocking on my door. Um, I'm rebuilding a little my at least my GI Joe collection, and I just I got some signed Action Force. But I'm trying to rebuild my GI Joe collection right now. I'm doing pretty good. You always hit that wall when you come to about issue 150. Getting the 150 to 300 is kind of difficult. So, but I'm doing pretty good. I got a great comic shop, which I always take time to mention. Excalibur Comics. Oh, there we go. Maybe. There we go. Excalibur Comics in Shreveport. They are fantastic. They take good care of me, and I am not sponsored. I don't even get an AARP discount, but I've never seen a number one Action Comics in person. Um, and the way it's looking, most of them are going to be slabbed, which I think is I don't really. That's we'll see how that turns out in 20 years. So we know what Retrobrite's doing to plastic after 10 years. We'll see what all that acrylic does to comic book in 10. So I used to have, well, it depends on what you what you mean by notably rare comic issues. I used to have a pretty near complete collection of Batman. I had a pretty near complete collection. I had a complete collection of GI Joes up until 2003, 2001, somewhere in there. Yeah, 2001. Um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, Eastman Layard. Um, I still have most of my heavy metal magazines. Um, I had some pretty early detective comics. Some pretty never was big into Superman. Uh I had all the early Spawn up to like issue 100. The Todd father would be happy to hear. Um they They actually have a compendium out right now. You can get it on Amazon, straight from Larry Hama. They've got volume 1 and 2 out right now. They're a big, big boy, big bulky, thick little. But it's all the early comics all in one place, so you don't have to. But I like first editions. I've got a couple second printings on some things, but I like first printing. Uh, Typically newsstand, which has the UPC code on it, which is what I like to collect. But um, some of my favorites, I'll get newsstand and direct, which has the little Spider-Man head on it, down the corner. But I had a bunch of the early Transformers. God, I had a massive collection. Um, I think it sold. It pretty much when we found out my wife was pregnant. It pretty much I sold all my comics to pay for a move. I think I got close to 10 grand for everything. So, and that is comic book sale price in 2001. So, yeah, birth control is cheaper, people. Oh, little assistance over there. Um, oh, I have a question. 3.75 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, it's 12 inches. How big is big enough? Whatever size she tells you is big enough is big enough. 3.75 needs to die. It is only our nostalgia. And listen, and Ronnie, love you, brother. Um, it, I know that you survive insurmountable odds every day in Australia just to survive to bring us the great content that you bring. And I respect you for that. But 3.75 was fantastic for its time. The going from a 5 POA figure with the Kenner Star Wars stuff as a kid to the Hasbro was was an incredible memory. Um, the rubber, the little gimmick, so you could actually punch, with the O ring and things like that. And I get a lot of people who are like, Max hates all that O ring. No, I don't. I loved it. I still love it. I don't collect it because I've had it. I've had it. Why do I need it again? That being said, I may pick up a few pieces, but we all know what happens. Eventually, you're going to be changing out that O-ring. We know now in our waning years that if you have a unopened box of a Destro from 1986, no, that would be 84. 84 was the first Destro. I think 84, 84, 85. It's going to be exploded in that bubble. We know this. That O-ring is going to snap. If you never touch that figure, that O-ring is going to snap. You looked at it wrong, snap. Now, producing like they did with the Ghostbusters and some of the Transformers G.I. Joe mix, they did a couple of the O-ring figures. Fuck anything Super 7 does. I don't even care about their shit. But there's your little hate, people. You want a little bit of hate? Fuck Super 7. But they're important, and I do like them. But they're nostalgia. They're, do I think that Hasbro needs to go completely back to 3.3 3/4 figures? No, I don't. Do I think anybody really does? Like the The grindhouse stuff. It's neat. It's cool. It's, you know, it's a thing. Um, who else is doing the three and three quarters? There's somebody else doing some. Whoever's doing O rings. It's just there's a limited market to that, and we're about to start dying off. 4-inch figures, 6-inch, and 12-inch. Those are your three. Just like if you know, with with pew pews, you need a 22, a 9 millimeter, and a 5.56. That's all you need. 4-inch, 6-inch, and 12-inch. Those three things right there are all you need. Look at Pursuit of Cobra. Some of the greatest GI Joe figures made today, even better than some of these classifieds, and they did it in 4-inch. Joy Toy, what they're doing in 4-inch. The 3 point, and anytime somebody says 3.75 to me, I immediately think O-ring figure. So if that's not what you meant, Ronnie, then you know that I apologize. But 4-inch figures, phenomenal. Holy crap! Like, where is it? I don't. Maybe I haven't got it yet. The Lifeline that's coming out. Look at that 4-inch Pursuit of Cobra or 25th anniversary figure. The 25th anniversary figures of GI Joe. 3-star Michelin all day. I would rather have a complete collection of 25th anniversary. I would give up my entire classified collection for a 25th anniversary collection. Not going to, but I would. Maybe. I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? For 6-inch figures, they're great. You can do a lot with them. In fact, I think that people aren't doing. I don't think we've seen everything that you can do with a 6-inch figure. InArt is about to start showing us because InArt is out to prove something. And 2026 is going to be the year of InArt. You mark my words. I don't care where else you heard it. You heard it here, you know, at some point. 12-inch figures are never going away. I've got two of the figures that like the 1,000 Toys synthetic humans. I'll just put that down anywhere. The pinnacle of what you can do with articulation up to this point. Their 6-inch figure, just as good. So 4, 6, and 12. Those just standardize it. Once you do that, when you mess around like, you know, McFarlane with his 7-inch, you're just fuck you, Uncle Todd. You're just throwing a monkey wrench into the work. If you stick with 4, 6, and 12-inch, you will always have a scale that you can go to. You'll always have something that'll work with something else on your shelf in one of those scales. And that's just, you know, I've been, and I don't hate anything. A toy is a toy. It's a fucking toy. Who gives a shit? But we have very little standardization in the toy market. Everybody wants their unique little toy, that everybody has a unique little scale, because we can't have our peas touching our carrots, and you got to keep it out of the potatoes. Standardization. If you quit screwing around with all that, you're going to help factories speed production, because they already know you're going 4, 6, or 12. Don't have to worry about, oh, well, we got to do this one, and it's going to be 7 3/4, and from those you can have varying sizes. It's like people were talking a lot about the mainframe and how he was so short. Well, you know what? Not all humans are the same size. Um, so it and sci-fi is taller than all out of all three of those. So you can, as long as you stick with a 4, 6, or 12-inch scale and build off of that, you're always going to produce a better toy. You're going to have happier clients because we don't have to worry about selling off. Oh, yeah, well, a different company just took over all the DC stuff. Now I'm going to have to buy a whole new collection because none of them fit with all the other shit that I own. So you've just invested years of your life. I don't even want to think of how much fucking money you've invested into something that you're just going to sell off, and there'll never be any more of that. And you've got to start over from scratch. It's one reason why, I'm not necessarily a classified guy. It's just where I started. It was, I don't want to go back and have to recollect something I already had. I'm starting, anyway, that's another thing. Anyway, but yeah, so there wasn't an easy answer. I'm sorry it took so long to really get into, but yeah, 3 3/4 inch and 2 inch. I mean, listen, these little 2 inch. Yeah. Oh man, McFarlane, if he made these all damn day, he would do fantastic. These little page poppers. I mean, look at that. You've got articulation out the wazoo in a little 2 inch figure. Um, Hell, look at Mask. Look at Air Raiders. You want to talk about some vintage toys you can look back in a 2 inch size. Starcom. Holy crap, I love Starcom. Air Raiders was still my favorite little 2 inch figure. But yeah, 2, 4, 6, 12. Those that right there. There's 4 sizes. Off size shit like 3 3/4. Produce it every now and then as a nostalgia piece. I know Vala's doing some. Hasbro's gonna spit some out every now and then. Super 7 is, who cares? It that but yeah, just stick 2, 4, 6, 12. And no, you don't need an 8-inch figure. But your old lady does. No, anyway. So all right, let's move on. I think we've who's your favorite Afro-American YouTuber that starts with an A? Um Hard. Um The Amazing. Of course it's you, Frankie. Come on. Oh, actually, I do want you. Everybody should go check out his last video or his Instagram post. He was doing some smoke effects on some figure photography. Really worth checking out. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. Da-da-da. People talking about comics still. Yeah, McFarlane loves those 7 inches. He tells his old lady it's 12. But that was bad. Sorry. That was uncalled for. And again, the ultimate thing is collect whatever the hell you like. I find that most people really just you're always going to, you know, coagulate towards people who are telling you things that you already know and believe. So see, I knew I liked you, Leah. Thank you. Yeah, and which brings me to, you know, what I was saying about some standardization. Once you have just, you know, it's little assistant, are you okay over there? Okay. Sounded like your guts were falling out. Um, they are in fact not. So, the yeah. All right. Questions, people. Oh, here we go. What is an animal you think more needs more representation in the action figure realm, specifically in the anthropomorphic style? Uh, I don't like furry shit, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. But um, I love wombats and capybaras. So anything that you could do to put wombats or capybaras, I would probably buy those. Um, that being said, I'm usually what is that one line? It's True Star Screamer did a video about it recently. I think that it was they had a gold it had a goldfish. I think Bobby Vala got in trouble for calling it a guppy. Well, it looks like a guppy. So, you know, um that goldfish one was really cool. Thought it'd been even neat if you could pull the little goldfish tail out of its butt, and when you put the head on, you could put it back on. It actually just looked like a goldfish. Um, the only anthropomorphic stuff that I really liked um, was Redwall. Um, I'm not real big on I like animals doing human actions, like mice with swords. Um, I don't care too much for animals that have to look human. Um, that being said, in Warhammer Fantasy, I always played Skaven. So, but they just rats, you know, that's a good example of what I like. Secret of Nim, also one of my favorite movies. Um, it that Secret of Nim was fantastic. Animals with human characteristics, not humans that turn into animals. That's and listen, and if that's what you like it. Um, it's just not for me. It doesn't do anything for me. Um, so that being said, I got um uh it's hard to point. There we go. Uh, my Spinosaurus over there. If I could figure out how to get him to hold a sword and wear a cape, I'd probably be okay with that. So, but yeah, wombats and capybaras. So there you go. If he'd hurry up and put out Winds of Winter, I would like him a lot better. I'm invested, and I yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. Um Yeah, the koi fish from Mythic Legion. That was it. The guppy. So yeah, the tail really needs to be able to pop back into the head. That Yeah, Battle Beasts. Yeah, now I remember like the little muscle figures, and the battle. I had some of the Battle Beasts when I was a kid. You know, you'd rub their the little uh excuse that was for D Amazing. Hydrate people. Um I had a lot of the Battle Beasts when I was a kid. And again, it's I don't hate any of it. Um some of the myth I still to this day do not own a single Mythic Legions figure. Um, it's not for not liking them. Some of the Cosmic Legion stuff I like, but um, Battle Beasts were kind of neat as a kid, but they were also just kind of like those little homies that you got out of the 50 cent thing. They were just small. All the muscle figures, you know. It I'm an articulation whore. That give me more. Now, I will say that I did see the Rat King from Figure Obscura, and that thing looks fantastic. Um, they always do a really neat Christmas figure. Um, yeah, that's I was really impressed with that. I probably not going to buy it, but have I seen the cat shit one? No, I have not seen that one. I don't have an answer to that one. I don't know. Do they have a figure of a cat taking a shit? I'm not supposed to be the one asking questions tonight. That's I'm here for y'all. Is that a question for me? I don't have an answer. I don't know anything about Beast Wars. Um that would be something to ask Taub. He keeps up with all that stuff. Um that I've pretty much gotten rid of. I think I had a complete collection of War for Cybertron, including the all the siege, the uh I had a bunch of the Beast Wars, and um I think I got rid of all that stuff too. But I do believe that they're still doing a few in Masterpiece. But like I said, that's a uh I would probably check out Taub's channel if you have questions on Transformers. He's got the answers. Favorite movie theater experience. Um, the first movie I ever saw in my life was Star Wars in 1977. I was 2. I remember being there. Um, but the first time that I ever just punched in the balls with a movie was sitting fourth or fifth row back in the Pratt Theater in Pratt, Kansas. And I saw Flash Gordon. And I just remember the very first of the movie where they're showing some of the old comic strip and it's just coming at you. And it's just boom. Flash. Ah, he saved the universe. Just boom. Um, that right there, just the first 3 minutes of the film, um, just stuck with me and probably made me the man I am today. So yeah, that right there, that is probably my favorite movie, most impactful favorite movie theater experience. The other one, I'll give you this, was the night I got married to beautiful assistant. We went and saw Lilo and Stitch in Clayton, New Mexico at a really beautiful old 50s, 40s and 50s theater there in Clayton. And that was a good night. Special cat. Oh, wait. Special cat forces? All right, hold on. I'm gonna look this up. Only you, Master Son, will make me stop a show to see what the okay. Special forces. Ukraine Ministry of Defense's social media post about a highly classified feline. I don't think that's what you're talking about, is it? Oh, I really want it to be this one. Come on. There we go. Why can't it be that one? I would buy that all day. Um, action figure. Action figure. Tactical cat. I would buy that all day. Oh my god, that's a real thing. Okay. All right. Shit. What? Okay. For everybody wanting to know, because I don't have time to post the link. Um, come on. There we go. Cat shit one 480p. All right. I am saving that, and I am going to get that and that tactical cat. Hey, 3D print a girl. I need a 1/12 scale tactical cat. Don't me. Make it happen. Did she just say pay me? She did say pay. um, Max, how many cat girls have you tattooed on people? Um, I've tattooed a lot of pinups, but I've never done like a cat person, cat girl. I've done girl cats. Whoa! What's up is Max is answering questions. And I just answered that one right there. And it's good to see you too. What is a Joe vehicle you'd like to see get the classified treatment? Uh, the one we should have got instead of that stupid Arctic hiss that nope, not going there. The snow wolf. We should have got the snow. We would snow wolf. Yeah. Not a question, but correct. No comment. Okay. Matchson says I have to fast forward to the middle. So yeah, literally everything that you're seeing in that video, I would I would buy. I've actually seen this before. Um, I would buy all those. Every bit of the my wife would steal the rabbit. Um, it's just I'm gonna give you can get me struck. Um, yeah, I would buy all that right there. That's oh my god, are we? Did we really? We're at the end. That's it. No, no, no hot questions. No, nothing spicy. Everything that you want to know about Max has been answered. No more riddles. The Sphinx lets you pass. But yeah, Master Son. I everything that you see in that video, I would buy. Yeah, but that's the stuff I like. Like I said, if you're not familiar with Redwall, um, it's a fantastic series. Uh, buy it for your kids. So yeah, and catch up on some nicotine. Ah, um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else needs the classified treatment. Um, what are your favorite acrylic brushes? Grumbacher. Um, Windsor Newton has a few that are all right, but hold on one second. Hold on. Little assistant's going to get me my brushes. And if you're talking about, it depends on a little bit for the purpose. Are we talking about acrylic painting, watercolor, oil painting, or miniature painting? Uh, down there. No. Oh, down. Yeah. There you go. If you're talking about brushes for painting miniatures, yeah, Citadel. Or Army Painter. Army Painter also does a really great job. Um, if you're talking about, um, these are my watercolor brush set. Um, most of these are Grumbacher. Let's see. I've also got some Princeton is also really good. Oh, okay. We're talking toy painting. All right. So you got to be specific because um, for toy painting, ooh, I would still probably say arm. Probably the best that you're going if A lot of times people really mess up when they don't have to. And I don't want to sound like a brush snob, which I totally am. Um, but a lot of times when you have the right tools, then everything else that screws up is you. The only thing, when all your tools are where they need to be, then you're the only thing that needs to get better. Um, a tattoo mentor told me that one time, and it stuck with me across the board on all things. And there's another saying that my grandpa used to say, which is, you can always afford to buy it twice. Sarcastic inclinations. Uh, Sometimes you want a cheap brush if you're doing some, coverage or something like that. Um, I will tell you that the crap they sell at uh Hobby Lobby is and I am very much an advocate for um pocket as much as you can in that place, but the shit from Hobby Lobby isn't even worth stealing. Um Paint, Citadel, if you're painting figures, anything good enough for an airbrush is good enough to paint a figure with. Brush wise, Army Painter is usually a little bit more affordable than some of the Citadel brushes that for like Warhammer and painting miniatures and things like that. But this is what I'd recommend: get you some little 25 millimeter miniatures, get you some brushes before you start painting action figures. Watch a few YouTube videos and learn how to paint a few Warhammer miniatures. If you can paint a Warhammer miniature using dry brushing, using acrylic, and different techniques and things like that, and I'm going to tell you, there's some videos that it's easy as shit. Practice on those little miniatures. If you can do that, there is no action figure that you cannot paint. Which is why I tell people to steal from them. Um, but yeah, that Army Painter is probably, if I had to go for a mid-range brush set that is definitely higher quality than it's priced, Army Painter every time. And their um, primers and any of their paints are really good and usually a lot more affordable than Citadel. And I know because I have thousands of dollars of Citadel paint. And it is vulgar how much money I have in but let me tell you one thing that you do need. If you're going to paint blah, 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 if you're going to do anything acrylic, you need one of these. This is what's called a wet palette. It's got a little piece of foam that you wet down. It's in a little tray, and it has a little piece of rice paper. You need to learn, if you're going to paint acrylic, whether it be action figures, whether it be 25 millimeter figures, whether it be sculpture or anything. I don't care if you're working on canvas. Learn how to use a wet palette. It will save you, it will make your paints last forever, and it will always look better. Just blobbing on a bunch of paint straight out of the bottle is going to get you a look. Maybe even a lot of looks when people ask, What happened to you? Were you dropped as a baby? Wet palette. So Army Painter, learn how to do a wet palette, and aside from that, learn how to dry brush. And once you figure out those, and you'll do well. That's pretty much all you need. And just watch some. You instead of watching people paint action figures, like I said, have them paint little. Watch them paint little Warhammer miniatures, and you can pick up real easy some of the techniques that you can move over into action figures, and it's a lot easier. Can I send you the link to that? Army Painter. Army and then Painter. There's no link. Just go to their website. Um, or if I don't know where you live, Dan, but check out some of your local gaming stores. A lot of times, Army Painter has a lot of my comic book shop. Of course, they also sell uh, Dungeons and Dragons stuff. So, the wet palette is from Army Painter. So, not a question, but I absolutely agree. Yeah. Yeah. The one I use is Army Painter. And it's kind of neat because, yeah, see on the front, and it's got actually has a little place that you can hold your brushes. Comes with a bunch of different, these little rice paper pads, but when you run out, you just get parchment paper. I've got multiple wet palettes across the house. Mostly my kid has most of them now. I've got some that are as big as a cookie cutter sheet. But that little one right there does fantastic. You put a little drop of paint on, and one little drop, you'll be surprised, because with acrylic is about layering. It's about doing a fine coat and then adding another one on top, and adding another one on top, and another one on top. And when you do it right, it looks like deco. It looks like it was printed on there. So look at some of them. Check out JMK Customs. Him and his dad, John, who is an amazing person. They they've got a lot of stuff that they use. He paints a lot of miniatures, but you paint little 3D printed stuff and things like that. It's all about the primer that you use. Never ever skimp on primer. And Citadel primer, Army Painter's okay. I've had it get sticky on some action figures, but I have never had a problem with Citadel, the Warhammer stuff. So hope that helps. Other than that, like I said, just look for some YouTube videos about people painting Warhammer miniatures. You will get more painting advice than you ever wanted, than you'll ever know what to do with, or probably ever use. So, yeah, it's fantastic. So, it's nice to see you, Mr. Eddie. Didn't have a council meeting tonight. um, but yeah, and Army Painter brushes, they've got a good little selection. You can buy a little kit that's got pretty much Citadel, Warhammer has one too, but they're man. Those Citadel Citadel they get a lot of heat, but you know what? Everybody wishes they had a Golden Demon Award sitting on their shelf. So at but yeah, Army Painter across the board. When that doesn't work, you're ready to step up. Look into Citadel paints, especially the Citadel primers. Um, Tomica. No, that's not right. What is the name of it? The Japanese model company. I've got. I hoard art supplies, so I can't find shit. Uh, Tamaya. Tammy Tamaya. Yeah, Tamaya. I think that's right. Um, they have some fantastic primer. They also have some really neat uh, dry brush stuff. It almost looks like a makeup kit. Um, but there's no one thing that works. You know, if there was, they'd just make that one thing and that's it. But play around, find what works for you. But I guarantee you, if you learn how to use a wet palette and just take your time, then that's that's the way to go. All right, we're out of questions, so y'all need to step it up. Is that it? Tonight's supposed to be all about answering chat's questions, not um, Max making shit up. I could do that too. It was a dark and stormy night. My cowboy hat was tipping low. My 6 guns would need oiling in the morning, but I was going to get him. That bounty was going to be mine. And then I smelled apple pie and thought, I need me a slice of that. Oh, I'm so glad to be back. I can't tell you how much I've missed y'all. I really have. And this is, I began getting on YouTube for a couple reasons. Um, One, I really miss um, Invasion USA is the only answer, or Delta Force. Um, Even though Chuck Norris is a little yeah. But any canon film that's canon movies. That's all you need. Take everything else off the air. Um, I got into this YouTube thing because I wanted something that kind of stuck around, you know, past me and therapy. And plus, I also, I miss, being on the air, doing the whole Sunday live this weekend at the Coliseum, 4x4 truck monsters like you've never seen. I once spent 4 hours doing that as a production work, and it will never get out of my head. So, um, I have my ups and downs. Um, it usually, even if I go to bed at a reasonable hour, uh, you know, 10, 11 o'clock, it still usually takes me to about 2 o'clock to kind of get up and get moving. And I'll be fine 1 minute and, bad the next. And, um, it's the, I still, don't have a lot of activity in this arm. Oh, I still got a lot of pain in that arm. Um, but um, and you can see my face is trying to melt off. But we'll see. I've got an MRI coming up. They're gonna do my head again, see if we can figure out what's going on with these seizures, and um, and just kind of go from there. But and the thing about seizures is every one of them could be your last. So how do I feel? Well, yeah, yeah. Um, hmm. So my granny called him the kicking man. I just, I, you can like somebody's product without liking the person, and I'm not a big Chuck Person as a person fan. Kind of think he's a piece of shit. Um, Mostly because I've heard from more than a few people in the martial arts world how they would have a lot of kids, and he would be, one particular story was they had a whole assembly that was there for kids. He was one of the judges, um, and he was just mean to kids. And everybody has their day, and if it was just one story, but I've heard multiple tales. I know a lot of production people, a lot of Hollywood guys, and he's just a dick. So um don't get me started on uh like Steven Seagal. It hmm. Oh, what made me get into tattooing? Well, I've been drawing since I could hold a pencil. Um but and comic books is what I wanted to do. Um I was even a family friend is Archie Goodwin, which not a lot of I'm sure a lot of people don't know that name. Um, but I was kind of set up to go to the Joe Herbert School of Cartoon and Graphic Design, but I was kind of a screw up, and most that's my fault. All of it's my fault. Um, I screwed a lot of shit up because I was a shitty kid. Um, and shitty things happen, you know. Uh, but it just fell in my lap. There's a very very long story about it, um, and hi, lovely assistant. um, and I lost a bet. Guy said you're going to work off the money, and now you tattoo. Uh, that's pretty much it. And I sucked at it for about the first 5 years. Oh God, if I've got pictures. I was bad. Oh, so bad. Some would argue even after the 30 years I did it, I still sucked. Um, probably some people I've tattooed recently. Uh, but I've had a good career of it. 30, almost 30, I almost made it to 32 years, a little under, but over 30 years tattooing. Um, and I always tried to, you know, eh, be an asset, uh, not a blight, and always tried to give more into tattooing than I took out of it. So I've been in a few books, a few magazines, but again, kind of like with the here tonight, it was it's with that part of my art. it's more about the clientele than it is about me. Um, Everything that I did, I designed from scratch after a conversation I had with the person. You didn't just walk in and pick something off the wall. Although, I had plenty of historical stuff that I could do. But you'd come in, talk to me for a bit, and I'd draw it up from there. So I made it, although some people might feel differently, I always tried to make it about the client and not about me. So, but ultimately it's how I want to do it. But yeah, it just kind of happened. Like I said, I had totally different plans, and then all of a sudden I'm a tattooer. I was like, shit. So if y'all like old wargaming stuff, you might check out this channel here. I don't know if he's got anything posted up, um, but he does a lot of board gaming and Warhammer stuff. So if you like that sort of thing, give him a holler. Check out his channel. So let's see. Thank you for joining us tonight, Dan. Appreciate you as always. Yeah. Let me tell you, I'll tell you Steven Seagal's story. So when I was a kid, my mother packed us into a Winnebago and drove us to visit some of my family in Montgomery, Alabama. And on the way there, we stopped at the USS Alabama, which is ported off of just out of the Gulf in Mobile. And they said they had a sign posted up on the front of it, the catwalk as you're walking in. Now filming the Steven Seagal movie Dreadnought. And they even used they had a submarine out behind it, and huge, big light towers all up on the bridge right next to the little port where they filmed it. And so it's fine. They're filming a movie there, and it helps with the museum. It helps keeping uh, keeping a battleship afloat and uh, not falling apart is expensive. Um, that Visit the Nimitz or any of those sometime, and you'll understand. But so we go on there, me, my sister, and her friend, and while I'm running around the battleship, so it's kind of my sister's story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. My sister and her friend were on the sub, and somebody was like, "Hey, y'all want to be in a movie? You sure are pretty." Just staff just totally hitting on them, and you know, how many kids did you see in the movie Under Siege? Not a single one. But you got some production assistant, some little friggin' grip tape flunky, uh, trying to tell my sister that he'll get him in a movie. I'm sure there would have been, yeah. Anyway, but so yeah, originally Under Siege was going to be called Dreadnought, or at least that was the working title. And yeah, the staff was totally creepy. So it and but it's par for the course. I mean, it's Steven Seagal. I got a buddy of mine who used to stunts, and he kept breaking the stuntmen's arms. The stunt coordinator, buddy of mine, was just like, "This is the way you do this. If you don't do it this way, you're going to hurt my people." But you can't tell Steven Seagal a goddamn thing. and he broke 3 people's arms. And finally, my buddy went up to him, was like, if you break, if you hurt one more of my people, I'm going to whoop your ass from one end of this parking lot to, this production lot to the other. And, I don't even remember what movie they were working on, but, Steven Seagal, like Mr. Tough Guy. Oh, dude, you don't talk to me that way. And you know who you don't talk to that way? Stunt people. Because stunt people know how to not get hurt. And you know how how they not get hurt is they know how to not get hurt in a fight. So you fight a stunt person, especially when you're a fake ass piece of shit like Steven Seagal, who doesn't know anything anyway. He said, Steve, I believe his exact words were, the smell of shit rose from that man's pants. And I'm quoting. And that was the last day his stunt crew worked on that team. But anyway, that's, again, somebody else's story. Master of bullshitto. Oh, I bet he's didn't he like decide he was gonna move to Russia? Listen, you want to know? I'll tell you the reason. The reason I hate Steven Seagal is because as a kid, my pinup girl was Kelly LeBrock. Weird Science, one of my favorite movies as a kid. And Steven Seagal beat that woman within an inch of her life. And I don't care how, there just ain't no reason to ever put hands on a woman. But there damn sure any reason to put those kind of hands on Kelly LeBrock. Not when these hands were ready and willing and supple. It's the reason I married my wife. She looks like Kelly LeBrock. Anyway. Well, that does it for everybody's questions tonight. I am going to call it an evening. And bullshit. Oh. Could that be who I was talking about? I'll never tell. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful evening. Thank you for sharing it with me. Thank you for the fantastic questions. I hope I answered everybody to the best of my ability. If there's a question that you have for me and you didn't get it tonight, feel free to message me. My Instagram, my Facebook, everything is all the same. Make sure on your way out that you smash that like button like I smashed your mom. Anyway, no, none of that. Anyway, no, I'm not going to drop the dozens. Everybody, I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Have a great evening. And, oh, yeah, no, see, it's been so long since I've done it. We got to do a quote, don't we? All right. Let us. That one feels good right there. Let's see what we got. Sir Edward Dyer, 1540 to 1607. And he that will this health deny, down among the dead men let him lie. Everybody have a great evening.